Good morning. Good morning. I'm Matt Parker. I'm taking over T3 Talks this week as your guest host. And we're here with the wonderful Rick Noda. Ready to go today, Rick?
I'm going to tell you, I am so ready. Today's topic right now, little in the heart, man. Trust me.
So we've been talking a little bit here recently, watching the news here. I don't like to watch too much of the news, but one that kind of jumped out at me, a news story, is the opioid epidemic. So
Dun, dun, dun.
yeah, it continues to rise in deaths in Americans per year. I mean, it is crazy the amount, the Vicodin, all this kind of stuff, fentanyl, celebrity deaths are occurring more and more because of it. I know you were telling me a story a little bit before. Can you tell me a little bit about that story?
Well, I'll tell you, Doc, and you guys, one nice thing that I often talk about these podcasts is literally the things that have happened in my life. And, one beautiful thing about being ADHD is the fact that your brain goes nonstop and you have the ability to drive. Add the fact that I was a Marine and trained that complacency will kill you, all right? And then all of a sudden, when you think you're getting fat and happy, you decide to take on Iron Man and do Iron Man forever. And one thing is, as I was training hard, I was also playing hard. So get done with the training ride, man, I would sit down and drink, a bunch of Rolling Rocks, a bunch of, I used to take shots of tequila, and that would help with the pain for a little while. Those of you guys don't know, I injured my back in the Marine Corps, and I have what's spondylosis of the back, kind of some fusing. I had some knee meniscus removed, so I've got bone on bone. So as I was racing in Ironman, I had a little bit of pain. Unbeknownst to me, I also had a kidney stone that was there, so I'd pee blood once in a while because it was unobstructed. I was on a training ride with one of my friends who's a doctor. He was kind of nice, and he goes, "Dude, what's wrong with you?" He's like, "You're grimacing right now." And I said, my back's on fire, this is this, and the vodka last night that I used is wearing off. So he goes to me, he goes, "No problem, Rick." He goes, "Here you go, try these." And I thought he actually gave me Tylenol is what I thought he gave me. But I, put them underneath my tongue and I was introduced to Vicodin. And I want you to know, someone who is ADHD like myself, oh yeah. Because it was able to decrease the pain. And then I'd go on a training ride, and with my power, I would ride hard. And I would ride super hard. Then I'd come home, drink 6 or 7 beers, half a bottle of vodka, 4 Vicodins, and a Soma to go to bed. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Crazy.
Did not know, because I wasn't a nurse back then, that could have killed me. Just for the simple fact of the acetaminophen that was in the Vicodin, taking 4 or 5 of those. Not to include the side effects that I was having. I was wondering why I couldn't SHIT, why I was constipated. I was wondering, why I was a little bit more irritable. Here's the other thing I didn't know. They're highly addictive. To the point where when I tried to stop, my hands would shake. And I go, what the hell's going on? Something's wrong. I think I got a cold. I think I have a virus. But you know what? I was going through withdrawals and didn't even know it. So Doc, when I tell you that I raced my last 2.5 years of Ironman, I never raced on Vicodin. I'll just tell you, for my sponsors and all that, I never did that. But I did right after that race, when my body just was aching. Boy, I think, and I don't want to scare anyone out there in podcast land, probably like 6 Vicodin, 2 Somas, and a bunch of things, like a bunch of alcohol in between. Literally The Walking Dead.
Scary.
It is. And what was amazing, you guys, is how I got off of them.
How?
When I retired from elite racing, was introduced to medicinal marijuana. And it was, for me, as a nurse at this time, it was acceptable for me to take Vicodin and painkillers. No problem. Okay? But I couldn't take marijuana. Now, luckily, I worked with a doctor who was local, and he saw the amount I was consuming, and we were doing addiction therapy in there. How hypocritical that I am is I'm giving addiction therapy, and I'm freaking popping pills, We're inducing Suboxone and Vivitrol. And I literally go through I go to the doc, I go, "Hey doc, I'd love to get off these, these opiates, but, I can't smoke marijuana because I'm a nurse." He goes, "I'm not going to fire you." And doc, I almost killed myself because I did not know, even as a nurse, that you're not supposed to just stop cold. So one day I just literally told doc, "Cool, I'll see you for the weekend." And on Friday, Friday, I stopped taking them. By Saturday, I was incapacitated, throwing up. I was in my bed, sitting in the fetal position, cold sweating. By Monday, couldn't go to work. I could not go to work. Told doc I had a cold. On Wednesday, when I finally put it together, went back to work. Doc goes, dude, I've never seen you sick. You've worked here for like 3 or 4 years. And I told him when he goes, you kicked it, dude. He goes, you kicked those opiates. And I go, is that what I did? He goes, you just went through opiate withdrawal. Now, I will tell you guys something off the bat. Never do that. If you're going to reduce your opiates, contact a, physician to do a titration down and stuff like that. But from that point on, I started to educate myself. I was joking. I used to say that because cannabis isn't like the most smart thing. I go, oh, golly, I used to educate myself. But I did educate myself in the proper use of cannabis. And I also used a word that I did for alcohol is that I didn't go clean or sober from that. I retired from opiates, meaning I learned from them. They served their purpose for me, just like a good job that you do and you put 20 years. But I now know that what not to do. And that's the takeaway that I have. And the cool thing about that is September of 2007, almost September 21st, because it's one day after my wedding anniversary, was my alcohol sobriety date.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And then a year later, I actually happened to make it my opiate sobriety date. So it's kind of happens, and too, because I'm kind of don't want to forget my anniversary and my sobriety date.
Don't want to mix those up. Don't want to mix those up.
Don't want to mix them up. So as of today, I'm still smoke cannabis and only for sleep, which is nice. I don't use it like I totally used to use it in the beginning, almost every second of the day. But now I have to tell you, through the help of other and the kindness of everyone, I now walk around with zero pain. I also do a lot of post-care, but I take zero opiates, zero of even, I don't even take Tylenol anymore, you guys, or Motrin, because even I was abusing that stuff. And I got to tell you, it was not easy, because it's very easy to pop a Vicodin, just like House shows it in that sitcom, how easy it is to be a functional opiate addict, dude. But I will tell you that, you guys, anyone in this podcast who would like to reach out to me and discuss it, I'm free, because my non-for-profit is about Marine veterans and veterans who suffer from mental illness, and that's part of mental illness is addiction. So, and I really got my green card when it comes to that. Doc, you got to tell a little bit more about the pandemic, man, because it just doesn't stop there, man. It's. I mean, I know my story is great, but I mean, what are your parents telling you?
I would tell you yours, it's on the extreme side. It's a very common thing, but it would be more on the extreme side. More what I see in my end is people come in and their physicians, they just kind of keep prescribing them these medications. It's come in, it's, hey, I got the shoulder pain. Here's a painkiller. I'll see you in 6 weeks. And then, they tell them to rest, whatever rest means, right? So do I lay in bed? Do I do this? Am I allowed to, get dressed, lift my arm up? So 6 weeks passes, you're taking these pain pills, but as soon as the pain pill wears off, pain comes back,
exactly.
Right? So this cycle kind of continues and people don't really know much better. And, what I like to educate people on is that it tends to mask symptoms.
It does.
Right?
It does.
So... And what we do is we kind of go through, a thorough exam, and we were able to figure out, okay, listen, some muscles are tight, some joints need to be moved. We need a little WD-40 here, kind of get these things going. And then, people are amazed at the results they can get. And all they know is that, hey, I got to take these pills, or hey, I just got, pills from the physician. And, physicians are, it's not me. I work with wonderful physicians out there. There's some great ones, there's a lot of great ones out there, but sometimes that's just kind of the cycle it goes. It's 6-7 minutes, you're out the door. There's none of that one-on-one time. So, and I hate hearing about that. And
it's the worst.
Yeah, but again, there is always something that can be done. There are healthcare professionals, physical therapists are one of them that can, help people get back to moving the way they want to without taking these pain pills.
And, my experience, you guys, as a nurse, I've worked in primary care, I've worked in ERs, I've worked in, different modalities. And I want to tell you guys, the why. And I only say this because, you guys, I couldn't believe it. Okay. Now, as a nurse, I'm a patient advocate. So meaning, as a doctor of physical therapy, when I'm in the room, if he says something really stupid, I'm supposed to say, whoa! No. But a lot of times you're protecting your job as a nurse, and that's really a bad thing to do. It puts me in a not an advocate position. Mm-hmm. So as I was talking to physicians that I've had, and like you said, I agree, there's a lot of good ones out there, but again, there's a lot of what I like to say lazy ones, all right? And the lazy ones are the ones that want and don't want to get a bad Yelp review. And I joke around when I say Yelp review, but this is the scenario.
This is the society we live in.
This is the society we live in. And this is a scenario, all right? We specialize in people over 50, okay? Mm-hmm. So if you get someone who, let's say, is 65 or 67, he's retired, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, he sets an appointment. Now, how long does it take to see a doctor? 3 weeks, right?
Something like that.
Something like that. So if you see a doctor in about 3 weeks, then you come in, All right. And he says, guess what? Go see Matt, and all you need to do is stretch. You know what that patient will tell you, doc? He will tell you every bad word he wants to tell you. Just wasting my time. So what does the doctor feel? He feels compelled to solve his problem. Now, when I first started, acetaminophen was okay. When I first started, Motrin was okay. But then we started to become order takers. Hey, where's that Vicodin? Sure, here it goes. So it was one of the things where doctors not only want a good Yelp of you, for example, but they want to make sure that they think they're solving your problem. And by solving your problem, because you waited 3 weeks, they would consider that good customer service. But the other thing, it's great business. Because guess what? Guess what you call? This was my call. This is Rick. Oh my God, you're having constipation issues. Let me call in a stool softener.
Stack them up.
Cha-ching.
No.
Cha-ching. Oh my God, let me see you again. $20 copay. Cha-ching. So it's a lot of different ways where it keeps pharmacology and that physician, the wheels turning. The nice thing about myself and Doc is that I'm going to tell you, it's hard work to what you're about to do. It's okay to be scared. We're here for you. We're going to give you the time necessary. But if you want the quick fix,
we're not those people for you.
and that's not for us. And that's not for us. So you guys, that is another thing that I really say about the pandemic is understanding that most physicians now are forced to see you in 6 to 8 minutes, solving that problem, and they really care, but they care in a way to offer you customer service, and that customer service is two times a day Vicodin, and that's really where it leads. So I got to tell you, Doc, it's lucky, and I really love what I do, because when people come in, we have a different option. And I will say, if you guys have seen salmon going upstream, all right, and right there in Alaska, that's how I feel sometimes. But I find someone like him. We find another physical therapist. We find other holistic or naturopath doctors that believe in what we do. And that's why the ecosystem's successful. And the pandemic every day gets a little bit better because we're attacking it.
People are becoming more aware, but it's one of those things that it's a real deal out there. So if you feel like you're stuck right now, you feel like all you've been given are pain pills, please feel free to reach out. We'll have a link at the bottom of this. We can talk on the phone, see what's going on, whether it's your back, your knee, your shoulder. You're trying to work on a little bit of fitness. You want to talk to Rick, we'll get you set up. So go ahead, click on that link below. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. Rick, I appreciate you sharing your story, and see you mañana.
Boom. Dale.
Hey, Dr. Matt Parker here with Parker Physio, where we specialize in helping those over the age of 50 that are struggling with aches and pains get back to feeling healthy and living an active, mobile, independent lifestyle while avoiding those pain pills and costly surgeries. If you'd like to reach me, you can go ahead and call me at 858-900-3361. Again, that number is 858-900-3361. My email address is my name, Matt, with just one T, MAT@parkerphysio.com, or you can go to my website, parkerphysio.com, where I have plenty of information on things like how to help back pain and shoulder pain, neck, foot, knee and ankle, sciatica. If it hurts, there's information on that website. So please go check that out, and look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.
Thanks for checking out our videos. If you want to go ahead and subscribe, go ahead and hit that button right below. Or if you want to check out the latest video right here over my shoulder, go ahead and click that link. If you want to check us out on our social networks, we're at T3 Body Encinitas. That's T3 Body Encinitas. Or shoot me a quick email at info@T3 Body Encinitas, where our motivation inspires you to be better. See you guys soon.